Did you know a narrow front yard can appear twice as wide simply by borrowing the rhythm of a city boulevard? Today on Luxury Home Decor, we're revealing landscaping secrets that transform skinny spaces into grand welcomes, using design tricks architects usually keep to themselves. Forget boring strips of grass. We're talking layered heights, strategic color pops, and pathways that coax the eye side to side, creating instant curb appeal without heavy construction or luxury-level budgets. Let's start with the power of perspective. In long, tight yards, a slight diagonal path, never straight down the middle, breaks the bowling lane effect. Curve the walkway just enough so visitors glimpse planting pockets at each bend. Fill those pockets with a trio of heights: low creeping thyme, mid-level dwarf fountain grass, and taller columnar juniper. This simple height cadence costs little yet carves sculptural volume, proving budget-friendly choices can deliver architect-grade depth. Color strategy matters as much as hardscape. Cool hues, think silvery lamb's ear, soft lavender, and blue fescue, appear to recede, visually broadening a slim facade. Plant these tones along the edges, then anchor the center with warm coral bells to pull the gaze inward. Seasonal switch-outs keep interest alive. Replace spring pansies with summer zinnias and autumn mums, all in that same warm family, so the yard refreshes without reinventing the palette annually. Vertical elements are your tallest allies when ground area is scarce. Swap bulky shrubs for slim ornamental pillars like Italian cypress or sky pencil holly. Place them in staggered formation, not a rigid soldier line, to mimic architectural columns framing a grand hall. Between each vertical accent, tuck in climbing jasmine on narrow trellises. Fragrance plus foliage with almost zero footprint. The result feels stately yet airy, avoiding the claustrophobic vibe many narrow yards suffer. Seasonal containers add instant personality without permanent commitment. Choose tall, tapered planters that elevate blooms above eye level. The lift steals attention upward, making limited width less noticeable. In spring, flood them with tulips and trailing alyssum. By summer, rotate in dwarf citrus and cascading petunias. Come winter, switch to hardy kale, red twig dogwood, and battery fairy lights. One set of versatile containers offers year-round style while leaving precious ground unblocked. Thoughtful lighting stretches perceived space after dusk. Instead of a single porch spotlight, line the pathway with low-wattage stake lights angled outward. This washes the side beds in soft glow, visually expanding the yard's width. Accent any specimen tree with an upward beam, but keep wattage balanced so focal points don't overpower. Solar options are plentiful and affordable, making nighttime drama a budget-friendly upgrade that also boosts safety for guests arriving late. Mixing materials artfully can trick the brain into perceiving grandeur. Combine slim bands of gravel with larger rectangles of poured concrete, creating a variegated carpet that suggests multiple outdoor rooms. Where the gravel meets concrete, insert steel edging only 3 mm thick, almost invisible yet effective for maintaining crisp lines. Such micro-level precision reads as boutique hotel detailing, even if the supplies all came from a weekend home center sale aisle. Layered planting isn't just for sprawling estates. In fact, the tighter the space, the more layers matter. Start with evergreen ground covers for year-round base color. Add mid-height perennials that bloom in succession, and finish with airy ornamental grasses that sway above everything. The motion of the grasses injects life into a static facade while masking traffic noise. This vertical rhythm keeps the narrative interesting from curb to door, guiding visitors naturally forward. Repetition is a designer's secret weapon for visual calm. Choose one signature plant, perhaps dark-leafed, black scallop ajaga, and echo it in small drifts every few feet. The recurring motif knits the yard together, mitigating any piecemeal look from previous DIY experiments. 4 seasonal flare, underplant bulbs beneath each drift. They pop through the ajaga leaves in spring, offering surprise without disrupting the unifying pattern that makes narrow spaces feel intentionally curated. If tranquility is your goal, a compact water feature earns prime real estate even in the tightest footprint. Opt for a slender wall fountain that mounts flush against the house or boundary fence, freeing ground area while adding the soothing sound of trickling water. The white noise masks street bustle and invites birds, enriching biodiversity. Pair it with moisture-loving ferns at the base to blur edges and maintain a natural, spa-like vibe all year. A front yard becomes a true outdoor room only when seating is thoughtfully included. Skip bulky benches. Instead, choose a pair of slimline metal bistro chairs that can tuck beneath a narrow cafe table. Powder-coated finishes resist weather and come in vibrant hues. Go bold with teal or keep it classic with matte black. Position the set slightly off-center along the path's widest point, creating a welcoming pause without blocking daily foot traffic. Boundary treatments can either box you in or amplify perceived breadth. Replace solid timber fences with alternating horizontal slats and open gaps. The eye slips through those gaps, extending sightlines into borrowed scenery like a neighbor's flowering tree. Stain the wood a muted charcoal to let greenery pop, and intersperse slats with powder-coated steel for a contemporary mixed-media vibe. The layered fence itself becomes art while making the yard feel larger. Budget consciousness pairs beautifully with eco-responsibility through smart mulching. Instead of pricey bark nuggets, use shredded leaf mold collected each autumn. It costs nothing, retains moisture, and provides nutrients as it breaks down, reducing fertilizer bills. Spread a consistent 2-inch layer across beds to unify disparate plantings and suppress weeds. The earthy scent and rich color lend an understated luxury, proving that sustainable choices often deliver both aesthetics and cost savings. For vertical drama without canopy sprawl. Embrace espaliered fruit trees against the house wall. An espaliered pear consumes barely 6 inches of depth, yet yields fragrant blossoms in spring and edible fruit come summer. Train branches along a decorative lattice painted to match trim, creating living architecture that frames windows like botanical artwork. This technique maximizes productivity in tight quarters and invites conversation when neighbors stroll past your unexpectedly fruitful front garden. Scents-cape your entryway to engage visitors before they ring the bell. Layer fragrance at different heights. Creeping thyme releases aroma underfoot. Mid-layer dianthus offers spicy notes at knee level. And a tall pot of gardenia by the porch perfumes the air as guests reach the door. This olfactory choreography feels indulgent yet costs little, especially if you propagate cuttings seasonally. Sensory detail distracts from any spatial limitations and leaves a lasting memory. Traditional lawns gobble maintenance hours and visually shrink a narrow yard by emphasizing its corridor shape. Swap turf for a checkerboard of ground cover and pavers, or adopt a full meadow mix of dwarf flowers only 6 inches tall. Both options soften lines while attracting pollinators. If you crave green carpet, try Nomo Dwarf Fescue. Its tufted texture breaks monotony and stays tidy without weekly trimming, freeing weekends for actual relaxation instead of yard chores. Seasonal adaptability is crucial for climates with scorching summers and chilly winters. Install a drip irrigation grid beneath mulch to deliver moisture directly to roots, preventing evaporation in narrow beds that bake beside driveways. In winter, exchange thirsty annuals for drought-tolerant sedums, reducing water use when municipal supplies are tight. This rotating cast keeps the landscape thriving year-round and demonstrates environmental mindfulness, a value appreciated by modern buyers should you ever list your home. Reflective surfaces add instant depth. Mount a weatherproof mirror on the side wall or fence to duplicate favorite plant clusters and bounce light into shaded corners. Choose antique-style glass with slight patina to avoid bird collisions and to lend vintage charm. Surround the mirror with climbing ivy so its edges disappear, creating the illusion of a secret garden beyond. This decor trick costs less than extending actual square footage but feels equally expansive. Smart technology can also serve design goals. Integrate Bluetooth-controlled irrigation valves and low-profile speakers hidden among plantings. Evening playlists set a relaxed tone, while precise watering avoids splash on pathways, keeping gravel crisp. A narrow yard often doubles as a greeting zone, so smart automation allows you to focus on hosting, not fussing. All components tuck away discreetly, preserving the minimalist aesthetic that makes tight spaces feel calm rather than cluttered. Don't fear a touch of wildness. Leaving one pocket intentionally untamed, think native grasses and self-seeded rudbeckia, creates contrast against manicured beds, highlighting structure elsewhere. This controlled spontaneity signals ecological awareness and invites butterflies for dynamic movement. Situate the wild pocket at the far end of the view corridor. The slight blur draws eyes outward, elongating perspective. Suddenly the yard feels like a journey rather than a tiny vestibule to the street. Coordinate front door color with your planting scheme to reinforce design harmony. A deep sage door pairs elegantly with silverleaf perennials, while a bold marigold door sparks against purple salvia. Repeat door color in small ceramic stake markers or watering cans to weave continuity along the path. This deliberate color echo costs virtually nothing yet delivers the polished look of a professionally orchestrated palette, making even modest homes feel thoughtfully luxurious. For sustainability and style, integrate a slimline rain barrel disguised as a sculptural feature beside the porch. Choose a barrel with a smooth, modern silhouette and paint it to match trim. Then install a copper chain downspout. The chain's gleaming links turn storms into performance art, while stored rainwater nourishes planters during dry spells, trimming utility costs. Functional elements that double as decor are essential when every square foot must work overtime. Clutter sabotages narrow landscapes faster than poor planting decisions. Build a toe-kick storage drawer beneath the front steps, perfect for tucking away hose reels, garden gloves, and small tools. The drawer front can mimic the surrounding riser, disappearing entirely when closed. This carpenter hack maintains a clean vista without enlarging the footprint. Form truly follows function here, keeping the focus on lush greenery and stylish accents rather than stray equipment.